"500 illegal miners in court as more emerge from Sheba gold mine." Why is there a Lesotho military training camp on South African soil? And 550 retired Israeli security officials have urged Trump to help end the war on Gaza.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. Mpumalanga police have confirmed the arrest of an additional 24 illegal miners at the Sheba gold mine near Barberton. They surfaced today after spending the entire weekend below ground. Last week, police arrested close to 500 illegal miners at the same site. They've all made their first court appearance today on charges including possession of gold-bearing material, contravention of the Immigration Act, and trespassing.
So one thing that we want also to indicate is that they are still being processed and possibly they could be found with other things.
A delegation of the South African police is currently in Lesotho to address the existence of an alleged illegal military training camp linked to the kingdom, which is operating in the country. Lesotho National Police Commissioner Advocate Boroto Matsoso had made claims that some Basotho youths are being recruited and trained for military in South Africa.
In a media briefing in Maseru last month, Advocate Boroto Matsoso had revealed that there's a group that goes by the name Matlanaha Land Reclaimers allegedly involved in destabilizing the kingdom. Matsoso further stated that this group is in the business of spreading misinformation, disturbing the country's peace, security, and diplomatic relations. In response, the South African police has since intensified its investigations into Matsoso's claims. SAP's spokesperson, Brigadier Atlanta Mate.
General Fani Masemola will, during the engagement, appraise the Lesotho Police Chief on what SAP's crime intelligence-driven operations have yielded thus far. Advocate Boroto Matsoso and his delegation are also expected to present a report on what the Lesotho Mounted Police Service have uncovered thus far.
Both commissioners are expected to release a statement on the way forward. Ndogozo Kumalo, Eyewitness News.
Elements of alleged police corruption have been mentioned in the high-profile trial relating to the murder of steroid king Brian Wainstein in the Western Cape High Court. Alleged underworld gang boss Jerome Donkey Boyson and 11 others are on trial for Weinstein's murder after he was shot dead in his Constantia home in 2017. Legal teams are arguing for the court to decide whether cell phone records can be used as evidence in the trial.
A Hawks detective investigating the murder of Brian Wainstein continued showing the court how she identified associations between alleged underworld figures Jerome Donkey Boyson and the now deceased Mark Liffman and Andre Nordier. The detective, who cannot be named, says the recordings show Liffman, Nordier and Boyson were part of an enterprise called the Brotherhood. Today, she told the court about a cell phone recording extracted from Liffman's phone, which shows possible police corruption.
For the possible involvement of a corrupt relationship with the police officers.
The detective says certain generals who are possibly within the SAPS were mentioned during the cell phone recording. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
The shortage of police resources in KZN has been a big part of the agenda today in the meeting between the National Council of Provinces and Police Management. NCOP members and KZN top brass were locked in a closed-door meeting at the SAPS headquarters. And although the meeting comes weeks after KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi made allegations of corruption in law enforcement, the Council of Provinces didn't focus on this.
And we've got to find a way to address some of those issues and see how best we can be able to assist. There's a lot of issues. I mean, on the agenda, we've got issues of resourcing the police, police vehicles, police stations not capacitated enough, budgets not enough policemen and women on our streets.
The economic freedom fighters have introduced a new bill in Parliament aimed at compelling the state to insource all essential and regularly required services from security and cleaning to information technology and auditing. The party says if these services were insourced, it would curb tender fraud and inflated pricing. And the EFF in Gauteng has also slammed the ANC for its alleged abuse of state resources after the party held its National Executive Committee meeting at a government facility in Ekurhuleni. It's understood the party couldn't hold its NEC meeting at its usual spot at the Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg because of financial difficulties and outstanding payments to the venue.
This brazen abuse of municipal infrastructure illustrates the ANC's tendency to blur the lines between the state and party and to treat public property as its private quotas. It is an insult to the people of Gauteng and Ekurhuleni in particular that the ANC, embroiled in bankruptcy, now exploits public facilities to conduct internal meetings, even at the expense of ordinary council operations.
International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola has admitted that conflicting messages from South Africa may have frustrated the government's ability to negotiate with the US on tariffs in good faith. This comes as Pretoria makes another attempt to renegotiate economic and bilateral ties ahead of the implementation of sweeping tariffs by US President Donald Trump.
It is unfortunate that this government efforts in resetting the relationship with the US has been undermined by some actors within South African society.
Gift of the Givers teams are currently on the ground at the Bossiesgif informal settlement in Plettenberg Bay, following a destructive fire that swept through the area, leaving a trail of devastation. Numerous structures were destroyed as the blaze spread rapidly, giving residents little to no time to salvage any belongings. And in KZN, disaster management teams have been activated for veld fires.
Dry, warm and windy conditions with gusts exceeding 40 kilometers per hour and low humidity are creating ideal conditions for the rapid ignition and spread of wildfires. The MEC has appealed to all residents to be vigilant and follow all necessary safety measures.
The MK party is persisting in challenging the special leave of Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and his temporary replacement Firoz Kachalia. Lawyers for former President Jacob Zuma have once again written to his successor, President Cyril Ramaphosa, demanding more details regarding his decision, saying these will better inform a case it intends to launch in the High Court. The UN Security Council has held a special session on the 50 hostages still held by Hamas, and 550 retired Israeli security officials, including former heads of Shin Bet and Mossad, have urged US President Trump to pressure Israel to end the Gaza war. They say Hamas is no longer a strategic threat and warn the conflict is harming Israel's security and identity. 19 people have gone on trial in Moscow over a deadly concert hall attack that killed 149. On March the 22nd last year, gunmen stormed Crocus City Hall, opening fire and setting the building ablaze. ISIS claimed responsibility. The accused include 4 Tajik nationals suspected of carrying out the attack and 15 accomplices. At least 30 survivors also attended. And we'll leave you with that news, and we'll see you for more again tomorrow.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.